Oh no, not again. Yeah, it's another one of those big slices, guys. Right, I'm Matt Fryer, welcome down to Trafford Golf Centre, and today we're going to be looking at something you should not be doing with your driver to make sure you can stop that slice. So guys, if you are new to the channel and this is one of your first videos, do make sure you hit the subscribe bell down below and also hit the bell as well so you don't miss out on any future lessons to help you improve your game. Also, do go and check out my social media channels for loads more golfing instruction and loads more golfing information on those. So, today's lesson, we're looking at one killer move that's going to get you slicing the ball quite a lot, and it's something that I've been seeing quite a lot of recently, even from good players all the way up to total beginner players. And what I'm talking about here, if I just peg another one up for us, so what I'm talking about here is actually what happens in the takeaway and the backswing that is leading to these big slice shots. And like I say, one of these things that I've been seeing quite a lot of at the moment is something where they can stand to the ball quite well, they grip it quite well, they've got the ball in a good spot, everything's looking good, everything's looking like we're going to hit a solid drive. And then as the club's taken away, what we see a lot of is that the hands do a lot of work. So they start to roll on the way back, which is going to affect how the club face is actually square or open or closed to the arc of the golf swing. Now, as a slicer, if you're watching this video, I would imagine when you hit your slice shots, the contact never feels completely solid. Almost feels like quite a glancing blow, as if the ball's running across the face instead of going into the middle and then coming straight back out. And that could be caused by what's going on in your takeaway. So what I'm going to do, just to give you a better visual of this, is just set up a couple of props for us and explain what the fault is and how we're going to go about fixing it. Okay, so I've got my alignment cane here and I've just put a foam noodle on it to indicate the angle that the golf club should be swung on the plane of the swing. Now, what happens in this fault here, like I say, it's very much that the hands become very active in the golf swing, in the backswing more particularly. And as you can see here, I've got a badminton racket attached to a golf club just to indicate this is going to be our club face, just to exaggerate what I'm actually talking about here. And the big thing that I see is that as the takeaway happens, the hands become very active and roll away in the backswing. So as you can see there now, the club's actually coming underneath this foam and the racket face is looking directly up to the sky. So once I've done that, I'm now behind myself, I'm under plane and I've got my face wide open. The problem is when I do this, if I rely on rolling my hands in the backswing, I have to then roll them the exact same amount on the downswing to square that club face up. Now, under pressure and under the speed of a driver swing, that is going to be a little bit difficult. We're going to actually be hard done by just by not getting it right of maybe a couple of degrees. So by rolling these hands, we're really putting ourselves into a dangerous place where we're going to have to do a lot of manipulating on the way down to do it under, like I say, a lot of speed and under intense scrutiny of actually getting the ball on the fairway. And one of the other problems as well, why you get that glancing feeling when you hit them, once you roll the face open here and get the club behind you, as you can see, my left arm is very much low and across my chest here. So as you do that, you might get the sensation of feeling a little bit trapped, as if your left arm is pinned a little bit too closely to your chest and you've got no room to swing the golf club. And the problem with that is that once you get that feeling, as a human being, we don't like to feel too tight and manipulated and contorted. So subconsciously, our brain wants to then get the club away from us. So we get this rolling inside with the face open here. Then we end up throwing the club over the top to get it away from us, which means that generally we're not going to roll our hands because we're throwing it this way. So once we then come back to the golf ball, we've got the face wide open and we get this glancing blow, which results into that slice and that really horrible glancy feeling contact. And sometimes you might actually end up aiming even further down the left hand side in an aid to try and do it. but you might actually roll your hands on one and get it going straight left. So as you're opening and closing this face quite a lot, you're leaving a lot of chance to happen as you're going through to whether you get the club face squared up. Now, what I want us to do and how we're going to solve that is what we do in this takeaway. As you see here, when I roll my hands, it looks very much like my torso, my hips and my legs are staying very quiet, and the hands are doing all the work. They drag my arms around and it's my hands that are rolled. What I want us to do, if I just move this out of the way. So what I want us to do, instead of it being just the hands that do everything in the backswing, we're now going to make sure that it's a bit more connected as we take it away. And what I like to suggest to my clients is imagine that the club face has a mirror on it. And what we're going to try and do is keep the ball in the mirror for as long as we can in the backswing, because when we get it rolled straight away within a foot of the club being away from the golf ball, what we see now is that the range would be in the mirror there. We're going to be looking out to the right hand side. It might be trees, it might be the right hand side of the tee as you do it. What you want to try and do is work it back and feel as you do that the mirror still has the golf ball in it. And as you can see as I do that, my torso gets activated, my hips get activated, and I'm working a bit more connected now as opposed to rolling, nothing happening. I keep the ball in the mirror, keep it in the mirror, and you can see now that my torso starts to work, my hips work, and my face is now staying square to my arc. And for those keen-eyed viewers out there, one of the other things that you will notice, when the club first reaches horizontal and I keep the ball in the mirror, the face of the club or the racket now mirrors my spine angle, and the club is now sitting on my toe line. So I'm going to be pretty close to being on plane here, as opposed to rolling it open. It doesn't mirror my spine angle, it's looking directly up, and it's nowhere being near on my toe line, so I'm going to be very much under the plane. So a really easy tip for you to do, and it's one that you can almost take to the course as well, and just feel that it's a bit of a waggle here. It's a bit of a waggle where you keep the face looking at the golf ball for a little bit longer, or like I say, that mirror is looking at the golf ball as you take it away. And once you've had 5 or 6 of these and feel comfortable with it, that you're no longer rolling your hands open, what I want you to do is get in with your driver again and try and hit one. So let's give that a go now. So it's back to driver here now, where I feel my face is looking at the golf ball for a little bit longer. It's not rolled in behind me. And if we get this right, if I keep the ball in the mirror for a little bit longer, we should see that we get a bit of a straighter shot. Absolutely crushed. A tiny little bit of cut on it there for me, but I generally cut it. If, like the first one I hit in the video, the face was wide open, it must have missed target by a good 70 yards right. So a really nice, simple, easy tip for you there, guys. Make sure in your backswing you're not rolling your hands and rolling the face open and then causing some faults from there. You can do this with driver, you can do with this with irons. The driver's going to be the one that shows it up a lot more. So maybe start with a 7 iron and then go into a driver, but give it a go and see if it can get rid of that slice for good for you. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, do remember to hit the like button, and like I said earlier, do remember to subscribe to the channel so you miss no future lessons to help you improve your golf. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon with another video.